Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in to today's whistle review. Today we are trying out the Harmony Flutes Ashwood High D whistle by Pavel Mira. It is a tunable whistle made entirely from wood with one little copper ring, and yeah, it's got a beautiful sweet sound, and I'm going to give it a little play for you. I'll show you some close-ups, and I'll tell you everything that I know about these whistles as well. Now, the Harmony Flutes website is linked in the description down below. There you can check out all the high whistles and low whistles available. There are also Irish flutes and a whole selection of other woodwind instruments there for you to take a look at. I do have an Irish flute to show you, but I don't play Irish flute very often. So I just wanted to relearn my embouchure properly before having a go of that, because otherwise I'll make it sound awful when really it sounds really nice. So let me show you some close-ups of this whistle. Starting at the top of the whistle, you can see we have the Harmony Flutes logo at the front. A nice moulded and finished wooden mouthpiece, curved windway. And the blade here is also made from Ashwood. It does have this lovely texture and pattern within it from the wood, which I think is really nice. It's got quite a natural finish, and I really like that. You can see as we move down the mouthpiece of the body, or the top section of the body, it does expand a little here, and that's to allow the bottom part, the body of the whistle, to slide in at the tuning slide here. And if I pull this apart, you'll notice that the tuning slide is reinforced with a copper ring. That's to ensure that this wood doesn't split as you adjust the tuning of your whistle. You can see inside here, the bore is a little narrower up here, and this extra thickness of wood is allowing us to have that joint on the outside, or sort of a one section inside another. We have a little bit of what I assume is cotton, but I'm not sure, binding here. Again, that is to strengthen the wood, but also to make sure that we have a nice tight seal on our tuning slide here. And it means that you don't really need any oiling or greasing on that inner section like you do on most tuning slides to keep them movable. As we move further down the whistle, again, you can see the nice patterning in the wood, and you can see that the pattern sort of follows on here. It's made from one lovely piece of wood, even though it's two different parts. The finger holes are nicely finished, and we do have a slight fluted end here, so it goes a little bit wider at the bottom. You can see the thickness of the wood here. Now, there is no key written on the whistle. We've only got some details up here, but this is purely the logo. But this is a high D whistle made from Ashwood. Some first things to note: it does feel very dry as far as wooden whistles go. I do have other whistles from other makers in wood that feel kind of like they've been well oiled, whereas this does have a very dry wood feel to it. So I would have to check with Harmony Flutes to see the maintenance side of things. With wooden whistles, it's really important that you allow them time to fully dry out before you store them, obviously, because any dampness left within the wood can damage the whistle. And especially as you have a wooden blade here as well, and the wooden windway, you really want to make sure that everything is fully dry before storing. You need to be really careful as well when you're cleaning these whistles, because you don't want to knock into the wood in any way on the inside, because that can damage the sound of the whistle, especially around the blade area. Usually with wooden whistles, you do need to oil them from time to time to stop them cracking. And again, it's really important not to leave these in the sun, because that will again damage the wood. It's actually really lightweight for a wooden whistle, which I like. It feels very sturdy, it's not thin. It feels like it's a whistle that's going to last you a long time if you care for it properly, and it looks really nice. I really like the finish of it. Everything is very professional, and it's aesthetically pleasing. The tuning slide is just perfect. It gives you the right amount of resistance to be able to tune or fine-tune this whistle, which I think is really effective. So let's see how it sounds. So as you can hear from those two little upbeat trad tunes, this whistle is really easy to hit the high notes on. It's got a beautiful balanced tone and volume throughout, which I really like. It's easy to hit the high and low notes. It's really responsive as well, and it has such a beautiful, gorgeous, sweet and pure sound. It's smooth and soft and rounded, but still kind of cuts through. It's actually really impressive. So let's take a look at the tuning and the volume test. So as you can see from the tuning test, we're pretty well tuned throughout. The lower notes actually need a little bit of a push to hit perfect pitch. And in the second octave, the D and E, so the higher D and E, are actually slightly sharp. Now again, this is a tunable whistle and it will change a little bit as it warms up. So it might be that it just needs adjusting a little bit to find the perfect spot to make sure everything is tuned both high and low throughout both octaves. Volume-wise, as you can hear, it's a pretty loud whistle. So if you're going to be playing in those higher octave notes, it's not really something that you want to be perhaps playing regularly if you live in a flat, or you have roommates, or you have friends and family who loud instruments would annoy. But if you're going out to play in a session or you're playing with other musicians, then you'll definitely be heard with this whistle, and that is great. Now, as these whistles are hand finished, there is one thing to be aware of, is that because we have the bound tuning slide here and everything is wood, you'll notice that there is a little bit of movement in this tuning slide. So you can expect the body of the whistle to wiggle around a little bit. You can feel this as you're playing, but you could play around if you wanted to with the binding here. But you can see the reason that it wobbles a touch is because of the position or location of that binding. It is there to keep the whistle sturdy. So it's something you'll get used to, or something potentially, if it really annoys you, you could actually fix up yourself. Now this whistle retails for 136 euros currently on the Harmony Flutes website. So as I mentioned before, the link is in the description. Do go take a look. There are also some other options you can choose with regard to the copper ring. You can have a sterling silver ring if you prefer. I think it just costs a little extra. So let me list the pros and cons of this whistle to help you have a quick access guide to whether this whistle is for you. Firstly, it looks amazing. It's nicely finished, it's professionally done, and it's a quality instrument. That is a great place to start. At 136 euros, it is on the upper edge of maybe the mid-range priced whistles, but I think it's pretty good value. It's definitely a whistle that is a professional instrument, that is well made, that will last you a long time. You'll definitely get the use out of it from the money that you pay. I like that it's lightweight. I like that it's not slippery. I love the fact that it has this rich and interesting sound to it. It's clean and pure. There's not a lot of chiff getting in the way. It's brilliantly responsive and it really flies up into the second octave with ease, and I really like that. Volume-wise, it will definitely get you heard. It's probably going to be too loud for general at-home practice if you live with neighbours close by, perhaps if you live in a flat, or you live maybe with even some animals if they're sensitive to this sort of thing. So just beware that it is a little bit on the louder side. As with all wooden whistles, for me, one of the downsides is the extra care that they need to ensure that they last. You just really need to be careful with them and make sure you're keeping on top of keeping your whistle well maintained. If that's an issue for you, if you're one of those people that just plays it and throws it around somewhere, don't waste your money getting a whistle like this, because you will find that you'll leave it somewhere and it will crack or it will go moldy. And there's no point in ruining a beautiful whistle like this by leaving it and neglecting it. It needs taking care of in order to play at its best. Now, if you are a little on the picky side and that slight wobble would really annoy you, don't buy this whistle. But if you think that the lightness and beautiful look of this whistle, that gorgeous, rich and warm sound is for you, especially if you want a responsive whistle that's made of wood, then definitely go ahead and give one of these a try. The two tunes I played today were Raggle Taggle Gypsy and Tell Me Ma. You'll find tutorials for these linked in the description down below if you'd like to give them a try. That is it from me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head over and check out that link to the Harmony Flutes website in the description down below. And don't forget, if you'd like to support my channel any way, you can do so on Ko-fi and Patreon monthly. As a supporter, you get a load of extras as well, such as MP3 covers of all my tunes, exclusive monthly videos, projects and collaborations you can get involved in exclusively on my Patreon and Ko-fi pages, and so much more. Don't forget to try out those tutorials I mentioned, or check out some of my other whistle reviews. I have a few other wooden whistle reviews as well that might be of interest. Thanks so much for watching. Happy whistling, and I'll see you folks soon. Bye.